Welcome back again after a very short time because we have another game on our hands, and that is the Big Bash League Perth Scorchers versus Adelaide Strikers. Perth Scorchers not in the greatest of forms, their marquee players not firing for them. Josh Inglis not doing that well. Colin Munro performing in sporadic intervals. Ashton Turner playing cameos but not being able to finish over the line for Perth Scorchers. Mitchell Marsh has not been that consistent, so a lot of problems for Perth Scorchers to actually address. On the other hand, Adelaide Strikers also have their share of woes, but they've also been performing really well. Daniel Worrell, Peter Siddle, the bowlers have actually outshined the batsmen this season because Jake Weatherhall and Philip Salt have not done much for them as openers. Alex Carey in the middle order, whenever he was present, has done well. And apart from that, Danny Briggs has been bowling well. We've also seen a good innings with the bat from him. Apart from that, almost all the players have stepped up on occasions except Ben Laughlin. So you expect him to perform because he's been a seasoned pro for such a long time now, but this season has been disappointing for him. Let's go ahead and quickly have a look at the probable playing 11 because the bat flip is about to happen. Of course, if we have a look at the Scorchers probable playing 11, Josh Inglis, the wicket keeper, along with Colin Munro, will open. They're likely to field the same 11 as last game. Joe Clark at number 3, Mitchell Marsh at 4, Ashton Turner at 5. He'll be captaining the side. Cameron Bancroft comes down the order. He's been performing well there as well. So he's a very versatile batsman. Aaron Hardy, Jai Richardson, Andrew Ty, Jason Behrendorff, and Fawad Ahmed, they form the bowling armory of the Scorchers. Jason Behrendorff replaced Joel Paris, and I think he's a very good replacement for him. Both similar bowlers, but Jason Behrendorff is a better option, I think, considering the stats as well. Fawad Ahmed has not been at the top of his game, but you'll see him getting into his groove as the tournament progresses. Jai Richardson has been a revelation for Perth Scorchers this season. He's been very consistent with ball in hand. He's not been expensive as well. We've seen control in his bowling, which he lacked previously. We have seen that alacrity from him when he's bowling now. He's now able to control his swing. Earlier, he strayed in his lines and lengths because able to gauge the amount of swing he was getting. But now it looks like he's very much settled into his action as well. Aaron Hardy has been a really good all-rounder for Perth Scorchers this season. The top picks uh, for Perth Scorchers will be, of course, three players that we have picked are Josh Inglis, Mitchell Marsh, and Colin Munro. Colin Munro, 49 for him in the last game of 36 deliveries. It is expected he will catch up from here where he left off. Mitchell Marsh, of course, has not been that consistent, but that 66 that we saw in a match-winning cause, that was it for me. The beautiful timing that he was getting and minimal effort that he was putting in, but he was getting maximum results. So Mitchell Marsh will be one player you'd want to watch out for. Josh Inglis will be the third. Again, not been that consistent, but considering that he's looked good, but he's not been able to get those big innings, he's not been able to convert. We expect that today he will deliver for Perth Scorchers. So Josh Inglis is our third top pick. Let's quickly move on to the strikers. Jake Weatherall and Philip Salt will be opening the proceedings for Adelaide Strikers. We've seen bouts of form from them, 27s, 30s, 35s, but not substantial innings yet because they're very, very good players and you expect big from them. Jake Weatherall has been one of the mainstays of Adelaide Strikers for a long time. Philip Salt is an absolute basher at the top of the order, times the ball really well, so you expect a lot from both of them. Matt Renshaw at number 3, so top 3 looks really solid. Matt Renshaw has become a very destructive player in the recent past. He's transformed his game really well. He's a good off spinner as well, so he can provide his services with ball in hand as well. And a lot is expected from the top 3. Then coming down to number 4, Jonathan Wells, seasoned campaigner. You don't need to say much about him. He can finish the innings for you. He can anchor. He can play the role of a sheet anchor. He can also up the ante whenever you like it. Jonathan Wells, a very versatile cricketer. Matthew Short, then coming down the order. After that, Harry Nielsen. He will, of course, be in the 11 because Alex Carey won't be available. He was captaining the side. He was also the wicketkeeper, but now Harry Nelson would have to take the baton from Alex Carey in the form of wicket-keeping gloves. Rashid Khan, Daniel Worrell, Danny Briggs, Peter Siddle, and Wes Agar, a formidable bowling lineup. The bowling artillery looks really good. Daniel Worrell has been performing with ball and with bat. Maximum fantasy points for him. Remember that. Daniel Worrell, apart from that, Rashid Khan, again getting into his groove slowly, as I mentioned earlier. Danny Briggs, left arm spinner, he's been doing really well. We've also seen a good substantial innings from him with bat in hand. So Danny Briggs is another vital component in their lineup. Wes Agar has been another revelation. So Wes Agar, Ashton Agar is not present in his younger brother is not present in the Perth Scorchers side due to his rehabilitation process, which is going on. Wes Agar has been a good replacement, not in the Perth Scorchers side, but a good. I think he's fulfilled the attendance of the Agar brothers by delivering his performances really well. So Wes Agar, another player to watch out for. The three top before that, we have some news. Perth Scorchers have won the toss. They have again opted to field first. That has been the trend in the Big Bash League so far. That's what we've seen. Teams have preferred to bowl first rather than going into bat first and setting a target. They have preferred to chase. This has been the trend so far. It has not necessarily paid off, but that's what the teams are doing. And when a trend starts cropping up, you start questioning it because we're not getting the desired results. The teams are not getting the desired results when they're chasing. So let's see if this trend persists or we see a turnaround in the next few days. Top picks for Adelaide Strikers would be Jake Weatherhall, the opener. Daniel Worrell, of course, the all rounder. Now he'd like to call himself an all rounder because he's been performing in both departments with bat and ball. Peter Siddle will be captaining the side in the absence of Alex Carey. So that is, of course, he will be, of course, there in the top picks because he's also been taking a lot of wickets with his new hairstyle and those new shades, the beachy look for Peter Siddle. Perth Scorchers have won the toss, the bat flip. They have elected to field first. News again from the center if you're just joining us. We also have the playing 11 of the Perth Scorchers. Let me just read out to you. There's a surprise for you. There are actually a couple of surprises for you. Josh Inglis is in the side. He's of course the wicketkeeper of the side. Jason Roy is there. So Jason Roy is also there. Colin Munro is also there. It'll be interesting to see who opens. If they go in with Colin Munro, that would also be a surprise. If they go in with Jason Roy, that would also be a surprise. So either way, it's a tricky situation for, I'd like to call it a catch-22 situation for Perth Scorchers. Liam Livingstone, I think he's a very good entrant into the side. They needed his services, and Liam Livingstone, an absolutely destructive player. He can also roll his arm over. So a very good addition to their side. He can prove to be a very good asset. Mitchell Marsh then coming down the order along with Ashton Turner, the captain. Aaron Hardy will be there. Jai Richardson, Andrew Ty, that is the bowling. That is what the bowling looks like. Jason Berendorf and Fawad Ahmed. So the bowling lineup looks formidable. They just need to perform, go out there and perform. Andrew Ty has been doing well. Jai Richardson has been the pick of the bowlers so far. Jason Berendorf has, you know what kind of ability he possesses, and Fawad Ahmed, the much needed leg spinner in the side. Everyone needs a leg spinner nowadays. So Fawad Ahmed is there. Aaron Hardy will play the dual role with bat and ball. So the lineup looks good now. It looks better. It looks stronger. So I'd expect Perth Scorchers to go in with go in this game into this game with more intensity. Till we get the Adelaide Strikers lineup, first let's have a look at the best tweet before the game. Jay Keegan says, T20 and BBL has really stuffed the art of batting time and patience for long periods of time in this country. I think every T20 league around the world has enhanced the skills of all the players that have played in the leagues, whether it's batting, whether it's bowling, whether it's fielding. The art just keeps on evolving. Now that T20 cricket has come up, you need a special players for that format as well. It's not just an addition to the other two formats. It now has a place of its own. So you can look at all three formats in an isolated way. And to become a good player of all three formats, you of course need to perform in this format as well. And your skills need to be up there. Very competitive game now. And what was the name? Jay Keegan has mentioned rightly that BBL has really stuffed the art of batting time and patience for long periods of time in this country. Absolutely right. The skills have gone up, but now the batsmen are finding it tough to bide their time at the crease. That's what he means. That the old fashioned cricket of staying out there, grilling it, grinding it out there with bat in hand. That has taken a backseat, of course, but T20 cricket has now, of course, held a place of its own. We've still not got the Adelaide Strikers lineup. As soon as we get it, we'll tell you what the lineup looks like. After that, we'll, of course, discuss what the fantasy team should be for this game. Again, if you're joining us right now, Perth Scorchers won the bat flip. They elected to field first. So, Perth Scorchers fans, you should look at this toss with intent because they are chasing first and they are chasing in this match and they chase well. Perth Scorchers have chased well in this tournament so far and also historically. So that is what the situation is right now. Perth Scorchers winning the toss, electing to field first. Let's again go through the Perth Scorchers lineup once again. Changes for them: Jason Roy in the lineup, Liam Livingstone in the lineup. Uh, Also, the bowling lineup is the same as far as the last game is concerned. Jason Roy and Liam Livingstone will be great assets. I think one problem they need to address is whether to open with Jason Roy or Colin Munro. I don't think Jason Roy can play in the middle order, so he'll have to open. Colin Munro will have to play in the middle order, I think, according to me. Adelaide Strikers lineup, we have it, and we're going to announce it to you. Uh, Another surprise here. So Jake Weatherhall and Philip Salt will be opening. Matt Renshaw at number 3. Alex Carey, the wicketkeeper, is available for this match. So he's in the 11. Jonathan Wells, Jono Wells as he's known. Matthew Short, then coming down the order. Rashid Khan, Daniel Worrell, Danny Briggs. That is what the bowling lineup looks like. Peter Siddle will still be captaining the side. So they've gone with Peter Siddle as the captain. Alex Carey, whenever he was present, he was captaining the side. But this time, Peter Siddle and Alex Carey both are present, but Peter Siddle will be marshalling his troops. And apart from that, Wes Agar. Wes Agar is the last man in the lineup, so they look really good. Alex Carey is back instead of Harry Nielsen, so that bolsters their side, the strength of their side. Now is a good time, I think, to look at the best, to look at the fantasy team that we have made for you. Let's quickly go through it once. Before that, we also have the X Factor substitutes. Let's tell it to you. Perth Scorchers, Liam Livingstone came into the side, so Cameron Bancroft will have to sit out. The X Factor substitutes for Perth Scorchers are Cameron Bancroft and Joel Paris. For Adelaide Strikers, they are Ryan Gibson and Harry Conway, both fast bowlers. Let's have a look at the fantasy guide for match 17 of the Big Bash League. Josh Inglis we have picked as the wicketkeeper. This was the option available, but you can also pick Alex Carey. I think because we didn't know if Alex Carey would be in the 11, so we picked Josh Inglis, but Alex Carey would be a preferred option. This fantasy guide was made before the playing lineup was out. Josh Inglis, you can go with Alex Carey as well, and I think you should go with Alex Carey. In the batting lineup, Jake Weatherall and Philip Salt will be opening the innings. So we have picked both of them, Jake Weatherall and Philip Salt. Ashton Turner and Colin Munro from the Perth Scorchers. Ashton Turner in good form, Colin Munro in good form. So now more options available, plenty of options. Cameron Bancroft and Liam Livingstone are also available. So Ashton Turner is a good pick, I think. Instead of Colin Munro, if you don't want to take a risk, you can pick Jason Roy or Liam Livingstone as per your gut feeling, as per your instinct. Let's go to the all-rounders, Mitchell Marsh and Aaron Hardy. Those are the two all-rounders we have picked. Wes Agar, Peter Siddle, Daniel Worrell and Rashid Khan in the bowling lineup. Wes Agar has done really well so far. Peter Siddle has been in glittering form. Daniel Warren, by far the best player for Adelaide Strikers. Rashid Khan, of course, no fantasy team is complete without Rashid Khan. Captain of this side will be Daniel Worrell. 268 points for him already, so he'll be our captain. Double the points he scores. Peter Siddle will be the vice captain. So interestingly, both the bowlers are captain and vice captain. That doesn't happen a lot, but this time, another surprise for you. So lots of surprises in this game. Before going, let's have a look at the playing 11 of both the sides again. One last time, the Perth Scorchers winning the bat flip and deciding to bowl first. Josh Inglis, the wicketkeeper. Jason Roy will be opening along with him. Liam Livingstone at 3, or maybe Colin Munro. That the batting order could be shuffled. Mitchell Marsh, Ashton Turner, and Aaron Hardy will be, of course, playing the finishing role. Jai Richardson, Andrew Tye, Jason Barendroff, and Fawad Ahmad. This is what the bowling lineup looks like. Very formidable opposition, but Adelaide Strikers are no less. Jake Weatherall, Philip Salt opening the innings. Matt Renshaw at 3. Alex Carey coming back into the side after his absence in the last match. Jonathan Wells, Matthew Short, and Rashid Khan could finish the innings well. Even Daniel Worrell and Danny Briggs. Peter Siddle can bat. Wes Agar can't bat much. So their tail is long. It looks like an even contest on paper. Tough. Tough to say which team has an upper hand yet. Uh, we'll, of course, see you again after this match ends to analyze what all happened in the game. Perth Scorchers versus Adelaide Strikers, match 17 of the Big Bash League. I'm Yuvraj Dua taking your leave for now, but we'll come back again after the match ends to analyze what all happened. See you again. Don't go anywhere. Keep watching Sports Time.